Here's why stress hits harder now and how to feel emotionally steadier. Hi, it's Kristen. And if you feel more reactive, anxious, overwhelmed, or overstimulated than you used to, there's a biological reason, and it can be supported. So here's why stress feels bigger now at this stage in life. With less estrogen, your brain becomes more sensitive to stress signals. Cortisol spikes faster and comes down slower. So day to day, what this feels like is you snap faster, you feel overstimulated, cravings intensify, sleep worsens, you feel on edge, motivation dips, and mood swings can happen out of nowhere. It's not that life got harder. Your nervous system changed. And so the three most effective shifts you can make. Number one, nervous system resets. This might sound a little woo-woo and out there, but it is so important, and important to do it proactively, not waiting until we're in that stress state. So doing things like morning breath work or long exhales. This is something that's so simple, right? Doing 2 short breaths in and then an extended long exhale. You can do that anywhere, anytime. And it's an incredible reset for your nervous system. And just slowing the body down. Sometimes just even putting a hand on your heart just to feel sense into your body. These practices help us feel more calm, fewer cravings, and we get better sleep. So number 2 is environmental. Your environment actually really has an impact on your nervous system. So lights, like really bright lights in your house, try to dim them, not have too much brightness, especially in the evening, really making sure that lights go down, way down in the evening, less brightness. Noise, having a lot of noise in your house can have a big impact. Clutter, that can also just make us feel that, be more in that stress state. Screens, they all overstimulate a sensitized brain. So just be aware of that. So maybe a little less screen time, like something like taking those 10-minute breaks. I call them, like walking snacks. Instead of a food snack, it's a walking snack, right? Which also helps with, kind of crowding out over snacking. So a movement break. Daily impact. How does this impact us, right? We have more mental clarity and less overwhelm, right? We don't want to have that constant overwhelming feeling. This can really help. Number 3 is blood sugar stability. So balanced meals actually can really reduce cortisol surges. Remember, that's that stress hormone that really is on full tilt if we're not working at regulating it. So balancing your meals throughout the day. Sometimes fasting can really help with this as well. But the daily impact is fewer emotional spikes, fewer crashes, and a steadier mood. So today, start with maybe some morning breath work, right? How about some box breathing, right? Breathing into the count of 4, holding to the count of 4, exhaling to the count of 4, and holding to the count of 4. And doing like 4 to 5 rounds of that. That's it. That can really help give you that reset. Dimming the lights, especially in the evening, making sure no bright lights can be very overstimulating. Build those balanced meals. Again, it goes back to what I talk about in our nutrition segment, right? That protein as an anchor of our meals, and making sure you're getting enough fiber in and healthy fats. Taking a 5-minute pause between transitions can be huge for our nervous system. So instead of rushing from thing to thing to thing to thing, you give yourself, I can be guilty of that for sure. And I know that hugely affects my nervous system. And so taking, 5 minutes, or even for me, I have to try for maybe 15-minute transitions from one thing to the next. So, make it work for you, but every little bit counts. And stress is not a personal failure, right? It's a physiological state. And once you understand it, you can finally work with your body and get your emotional steadiness back. And so if this is resonating for you and you'd like some help applying this to your body and your schedule and your goals, we can talk about it, talk through it together on a quick call. So go ahead and just book a call and we'll help you see what your best next steps are. Either working with me or not, but how can you set yourself up for making this stage of life more amazing than ever, so you can do and be everything you want to be. So I hope you found this helpful, and I hope to talk to you soon. Have a great day. Kristen, bye.